Hello ladies and gentlemen and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I am your host, Brett Murphy, and for today's video, it is going to be another retro movie review. And we will be continuing with our Harry Potter rewatch series, for which we have finally reached the 5th year at Hogwarts with Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. So this was the first of the film series to be taken on by director David Yates, and he has continued to direct every single Wizarding World movie from this point on, meaning the rest of the Harry Potter movies and all 3 Fantastic Beasts movies. So how did he do his first time in the chair? We're about to find out. Before I get into the actual review itself, I just wanted to let you all know that I have an entire playlist dedicated to all of my retro reviews. So be sure to check that out, and I guarantee you'll find something you like. And so with all that being said, let's hop right into things. So the first thing up on the positive list for today is that the tone of a new director is set immediately with a very effective opening. Seeing the Dementors in the Muggle world, the slight design change, the change in weather, the very haunting and ominous score rising, it all showcases that these are now far more mature and dramatic movies. Just like the characters themselves, they have now become young adults and the movies have shifted with them. The next positive that I wanted to address is that I love Sirius Black's increased role. Mostly because Gary Oldman is exceptional as always, but also because I love the fact that we get to see him interact with Harry so much more. Things like giving him advice and embracing him like a father figure. Their relationship really shines in this one, unlike it did in the previous movie, because I think Sirius only had like one scene. Next is that I believe this is the first time seeing the interior of the Ministry of Magic, and I love the design they went with. A grand, beautiful building filled with all sorts of exquisite color choices. Next is that you can tell exactly what kind of character Umbridge is going to be right out of the gate. And in all honesty, major props and a huge bravo to actress Imelda Staunton for selling it so well. Everyone, characters and the audience absolutely hated her. And it takes some real acting chops and skill to be so awesomely unbearable. Harry's speech in the Hog's Head about not being a real hero and such is something that I've always loved. It's a brilliant little self-reflection for the character. He admits that it's almost always luck and that he almost always has help, and that he doesn't see himself like everyone else does. Dumbledore's army is fantastic. The training montages, the members that are included, the idea of it in general given the circumstances at Hogwarts this year, it's all great. There's a few wonderful new additions in here too, like Luna Lovegood, who adds whole new layers of oddity and quirkiness to the series, but also layers of self-acceptance and gives our heroes a new outlook on the world. Another magnificent new addition is Helena Bonham Carter as Bellatrix Lestrange. She is superb in the role, and it is another perfect casting for this franchise. Through Dumbledore's army, Harry shows that he is indeed a true leader, and he really shines in that role. There are just so many little things to love in this movie too, like Hermione finally letting loose and becoming the person she was always meant to be. In fact, all of the characters in here do a fair bit of growing up from the last movie. Harry and Snape's training sessions where we do get some much needed backstory from Snape, the Weasley twins crashing the exams and setting off all of the fireworks and making Umbridge's day a living hell, the entire final battle at the Ministry of Magic, and the new design for the Death Eaters, which I might add is a vast improvement over what we got in the Goblet of Fire. I also found that the magic wand duels in this one were far more hard-hitting and impactful, with better effects and far more emphasis on their true power. The last thing I wanted to address, of course, is Sirius Black's death, which is sudden, unexpected, and truly heartbreaking. Although I do wish we got more of him in this film series like we do in the books before his death occurs, so it would have hit the audience much harder, Daniel Radcliffe does a marvelous job. And it really helps the audience to feel that emotion, feel what he's feeling, and it sort of makes up for the lack of character over the past couple of movies. And now for the negatives, and I really only have one overarching negative with this entire movie, and that is just how much of the source material that this movie cut out. This movie is the second shortest in the series. Without the credits, it's only like 2 hours and 8 or 9 minutes or so, and it is the longest book of the series. They really streamlined the story and pretty much put all the focus on setting up Dumbledore's army with some smaller side plots too, like the whole Dumbledore and Harry being bashed by the Ministry of Magic thing, and a few other little ones along the way. But there is just so much missing. I understand that they were trying to make up for this a little bit by having those sort of newspaper transitions that would fill in some of the blanks, because the book is just so big, and it does work in some instances, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't necessarily replace the actual material, which I personally think really should have been in here. Especially when you have the first 3 movies in particular being longer than this one, but their book counterparts being much, much shorter. That being said, I still think this is a great movie and a great addition to the franchise, so I'm going to be giving Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix an 8.5 out of 10. So that is all for today's video, folks. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my review. While you're at it, feel free to let me know what you would score Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix out of 10 and what your favorite moment from the movie is. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you'd like to see more content, consider subscribing to my channel and ringing that little bell icon. That way you can be notified about all of my latest uploads. And as always, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching. And that's a wrap. Hey you, yeah you, if you made it this far, just know I appreciate you, and while you're here, consider hitting that subscribe button.